So I think my first mistake was that just like yesterday, when I woke up, which I woke up a little bit later today. So yesterday I woke up around 6:30 something. Today I woke up around 7:30 something. Um, and when I did wake up, I still did my usual while I laid in bed for a little while or whatever, just like I did yesterday. But then when I finally got out of bed, me and my daughter had got up together. So we got up, we ate some breakfast together, we played around a little bit, you know, gave the gave the chores out and everything like that. Um, I did a little bit of stretching on the floors, trying to decide if I wanted to go work out first. If I didn't, which I ended up not doing it. And then all of that, then it's like, and I kept telling myself, okay, I need to get to the computer, get started. So by the time I did that, it was about 8:30. Compared to yesterday, by the time I sat down and started writing, it was already 7 o'clock. I had the house to myself. It was quiet, like so. Today, when I got started, I was just already distracted, and I think that had a lot to do with it. So um, I know that it is a strong point for me to wake up a little bit earlier and just go ahead and get started, particularly before everybody else wake up. And when I do wake up earlier, just go ahead and get started. Don't do nothing else. Like yesterday, I didn't, but I'm not a big breakfast person either. So I think that's important to pay attention to for your own productivity. Like I'm not a big breakfast person. So, but if you need it, you might want to get that before you do, start your writing session. So yesterday I ain't even eat breakfast. I just got started. Like I said, I was flowing, very much so undistracted. Really, today it was just distracting after distraction. Um, Another thing was I had to revise my outline a little bit. So, like I said, I do all of my writing in my head first. So a lot of it I end up doing on paper with the outline itself. But then some of the revised outline, if you will, it kind of happened in the moment of. So while I was writing, like I said, this is nonfiction, some subheadings came up. And so I was like, oh yeah, I could break that down. Because you remember I'm writing a nonfiction book on telling somebody how to do something, particularly how to gather oral history, how to go out and collect these stories or whatever. And so I thought about it and I was like, oh yeah, so what I should do is go in and talk about things that I did well in my interviews, things that I wish I would have done differently, etc. So I added that in the mix. Um, but then actually on paper, before I started writing today, I had thought about it. Oh, I should break it up into when you're interviewing family and when you're interviewing other folks. And so, and I put that on paper. And so going forward, even with my subsequent chapters, I know that that's something I want to pay attention to. I just want to kind of maneuver my content around whether this particular part fits for family, other folks, whatever, both, etc. Other than that, I did flow a little bit. I didn't get as much done. Like yesterday, I wrote a good bit, which it was like I don't really double space until I finish writing. That's just me. I did that in college too. It's just I like once you finish, then you double spacing to see all these pages you got. So yesterday I had like two pages, single space. Today I finished about one page and maybe like a paragraph on the other page. Also didn't write as long, and that is once again I was distracted. So I was very distracted with Facebook and Instagram today. So scrolling a little bit, and then just topically what's going on in the news right now. And yet another black man has been killed by the police, which it never stops. It just when is it popular in the news, in the media. But nonetheless, I was very much so distracted by that. And then I kept coming back. Then when it's like when I would notice I'm distracted and I would come back to the main script, then it's like, and I would have to sit with it for a while. Then I can get a few sentences out. But after a while, I just realized my mind was way more over it on Facebook than it was with this book. So I just went ahead and closed it down for today. I use a system called Toggle, which is it's like a timer for like work productivity. So I'm not real. I am kind of big on being productive, but I just recently restarted again. I just recently, once again, because in the past I used to use Toggle, And I just recently started using it again just because, particularly with my client projects and my own projects, I just want to monitor how I'm spending my day. I always say the top of the day and the top of the dollar is mine. So the first few hours of the day, I ain't working on no clients project. I ain't doing nothing for them churn. That's for me. Whether I'm working on doing something creatively, something for my body, my spirit, whatever, that's for me. Same with the top of the dollar. Any amount of money I make, and this is way off subject. Any amount of money I make, that's for me first. 10% of that is mine, and then I pay bills and whatever with the rest. So what was I even talking about? Why did I mention that? Um, I don't know, but yeah. So what I do differently tomorrow, I'm definitely going to try to get up by 6:30. Go ahead, sit down, get started on that thing. No later than 7. Working on the book and just see what happened from there.